your life. Hey, how you guys doing? Hey, we've been talking about this for quite some time, about a month. Hey, Supermodel Chef coming at you live from Marietta. I'm here with the Culinary Nap, and today we're going to show you about the spring succotash that I'm going to be making for you. This is a healthy organic dish. It's a spring summer dish. Very colorful, very bright, and very tasty. Okay. I'm going to start. We're going to start here today. We're going to have some yellow squash, some zucchini. We have some fresh corn, some heirloom tomatoes. We have some more heirloom tomatoes, some celery that's going in this, and some fresh corn, as I said earlier. And then over here, we have all our spices. We have all our fresh spices. We have fresh thyme, we have oregano, we have bay leaf. We have some little secret spices I got in here. We have some sea salt, granulated garlic, some pepper, and some dry Thai basil that I dried it myself. Little Creole seasoning, organic chicken broth, and that's about it. This dish is missing one thing. I'm missing something from, we also have fresh okra that's going in the dish. This okra is something that you don't have to have. Not everybody knows what it is and what to do with it, so to speak. Everybody, it's a southern thing. They usually fry it. Another Creole dish is shrimp. This is shrimp. Is a shrimp and okra dish, and then they have Creole shrimp. So I kind of combined the succotash dish and the Creole dish together, the shrimp Creole dish together. Okay, and then we're gonna, let's see. What I did here is I took some of it already. I took the liberty of cutting some of it, and I blanched it earlier today. And the only reason I did that was because okra is a slimy sucker, you might want to say. You have to blanch it in order to get out to get the slime out. Now I'm going to pour this out so you can, I'm going to pour this out, I guess, my friend Irvin's going to come over so you can kind of see, where you kind of see all the little slime that's coming out of it. You don't want that part in your dish. You know, that's going to ruin your dish. Okra is also used for another Creole dish, it's called gumbo. And when you use this, that's like, I'll call it a fish soup because everybody doesn't know what that is. It's basically from New Orleans. As you can tell, I love cooking a lot of Southern Creole dishes or whatever, but I use like a California flair with it. A lot of fresh, you see a lot of colors. I use a lot of colors because I want you to be excited about what you eat. And I want you to say, ooh, 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 I want some of that. And so we're going to let the water run on that while we get the other ingredients going here. We're going to let some hot water run through that. And I want to thank everybody for coming today. As I said, I've been announcing this quite some time on my Facebook, Instagram, and I want to thank the Culinarian for coming in today and showing you guys all of this. I've been excited about meeting you all, and I've been excited to make this dish. We're going to get started. We're going to put some things aside here, get a little organized here. This dish has rice that goes with it. There's onions and fresh garlic. Everything is fresh. The emphasis is fresh. Fresh seasonal vegetables. The reason why we're doing a lot of fresh seasonal vegetables is because I went to Integrative Nutrition. Here's the guy's book. His name is Josh Rosenthal. He started a nutrition school some time ago. And at school, I went there to become a health coach. And you guys are probably saying, what is a health coach? Well, the health coach is somebody who helps you to achieve your health and wellness goals. Also, it involves things like if you're suffering from Hashimoto's disease, or you're suffering from inflammation or any type of things. Inflammation is usually the basis of a lot of diseases that we have nowadays. And a lot of those diseases, they carry the inflammation. If you can curtail the inflammation, you can usually curtail some of the illnesses that are in your body. Okay, we're just going to put some little decoration here on the yellow squash here. And just the water over that, and we're going to cut that. This is about for this dish, you probably need about 2 of these, which would probably come out to about a cup. Now you remember when you're working with squash and you're adding the squash to your dish, you almost want that to be the last thing to come, the last thing to go in your dish, because you don't want it to wilt. You don't want it to go down to where it's all the way down into mush. Same thing with shrimp. If you're cooking a dish and you're adding seafood with it, make it the last thing you add to your dish. Because then your shrimp and your seafood, it'll all come out. It'll all come out fluffed, and you'll still have the color. You're gonna have like a few. If I started cooking this and I cooked it really early and I started adding other things to it, this would be like a mess. That's the short one to put it. It would be a mess. So yeah, we got those peeled. I'm gonna put that aside for a second. I'm just prepping out some things for you guys. Some things I just wanted to show you because some of the stuff I already got ready. I don't want to take up everybody's time. Like here's the corn here. And for this dish, you're gonna use about maybe almost a cup for the color and the sweetness of the dish. It's gonna add a lot of sweetness to your dish. This dish is kind of, how do I want to put it? There's no kind of rule to it. You just don't want to add like a lot of, this dish doesn't have a lot of salt. It doesn't have, because of all you're using seasonal vegetables, you want to, the corn, the sweetness of the corn, your sweet bell peppers, and what else? And your tomatoes and all of that everything is, because everything is for the season. That's all you're gonna need for your dish as far as seasoning. I have a few seasonings on there just to accentuate the dish and make it good or make it better to my liking. And to my friends Irving and Alvin. Last time I made this, they licked the bowl when I made this the last time. They licked the bowl. But I love these guys. I love these guys. They're the best. And so I'm going to continue to finish up with my corn here. Get that done. You guys bear with me. This is my first time doing this live. Being on camera doing this. Hopefully it won't be my last. You guys look for me. I'm going to be on Stage and Table on the 27th. I'm going to be working with them out in Santa Monica. And you guys just watch my Facebook page, Chef 911. And you hit me up on Instagram if you want to talk to me at Supermodel Diva Chef. Also, I'm on Twitter as well. I'm at Chef 911 at Holistic Chef on Twitter. So you can get me there. And let's go back to a little bit of my background because I kind of shorted you on that. I've been a chef for 26 years. I've worked in every type of environment that you can work in as far as cooking. I worked on Amtrak for quite some time. I also worked for, I even worked in prisons. Can you believe that? Prisons, okay? And I worked in fine dining establishments. I've done it all, which has brought me to this. I used to weigh 300 pounds. And in that, I find that everybody wants to eat healthy and assume that they're eating healthy by listening to all of these people who come on TV and they're telling you, oh, buy this, buy that, buy that. Well, simply, if you just eat simple things like fresh vegetables and fresh fruits and vegetables and nuts and seeds, you can attain, your weight loss goals, and you can attain your wellness just by that. You can curtail some of your, like I said earlier, your inflammation just by eating vegetables and fruits that have properties in them that will curtail the inflammation. You ask, what vegetables are those? okay? The main vegetable, the main vegetable that does that, or that I use all the time, is, I don't know, why do I have that? The main thing that I use is pineapples, kiwi, broccoli. It has something called rolling in it, and that basically will give you, that basically is a part of curing your, that helps curtail your inflammation. And also, don't try to take all these supplements and all that type of stuff. None of that stuff is, you don't know where that stuff has been. Not to mention, we don't know what the shelf life is on those products. And a lot of times, especially with fish oil, you don't know where they got the fish from, where it came from. You don't know where the fish came from, what water it came from, or what, how long it's been sitting on the shelf. So back to what we're doing here. I'm kind of nervous, so you guys bear with me a little bit. So I'm just going to cut the corn down. I just wanted to show you guys just to take. It's quite messy, so you kind of have to go a little bit slow. And you just got to go down. I'm going to turn so you guys can see what I'm doing here. And this is white corn. I like to use white corn because it's a lot sweeter. And it's, you know, like it's a seasonal thing, so I try to use this. This is why I prepped a little bit ahead of time, because it's so messy when you're cutting it down. When I'm done, I'll check for some of the, I'll call it, I don't want to call it hair, but I'll check for the stuff that's in the corn. This other stuff that's in here. Oh, yeah. Somebody has a question. Hi. Who am I talking to here?
We got Al Fox. He has a question for you, Dion.
Go ahead, Al Fox. What can I do for you?
His question is, how about using cod liver oil?
Cod liver oil. Just make sure they have what's called a pharmaceutical grade cod liver oil, and that's very good for taking that. So that's better than taking, what is this other stuff? I'm just losing everything here. It's the pharmaceutical grade. I'm just going to leave it at that. The pharmaceutical grade cod liver oil is the best thing you can do for yourself. If you find yourself getting sick with a cold or something like that, take a tablespoon of cod liver oil and slice up some oranges when you take it. Take it with the cod liver oil. And you'll find that you'll get well. You'll be well in the next couple of days. Those are the type of things that I deal with in my health coaching practice. People ask me different things. People are dealing with diabetes. And I'm not telling you I can cure this stuff. I can just help you, and that's all we're going to do with that. I just wanted to show you guys how to do that. And that's all we're going to do. That's what I wanted to tell you guys about the oil, the omega-3s or whatever. Also, which is really surprising, I can tell you another couple of food items that you could take for omega-3s. Surprisingly enough, sardines, and make sure when you guys are dealing with fish and all that, make sure when you're dealing with that, make sure you just all your fish and all that. Try to get stuff that's caught in the wild. Okay, we have another question.
Yeah, this is Tori from Seattle.
Hey, Tori, I love Seattle. I got a pizza place up there that I love too.
Tori asks, do you use camel milk in any of your dishes?
No, I haven't gotten that exotic yet. I try to stick with, because people are not apt to try things that are not indigenous to themselves. So they try to stick with the things they know, almond milk, and soy milk is not good, it's a GMO product, but they stick with just the basic things that they know. And my job is to teach people to, yeah, that's right, but no, I have never used camel milk in any of my things. Kind of the way I cook is the way I eat. Meaning that those are the things that are incorporated in my diet, I pass on to other people because it works for me. Not to say necessarily what works for me may work for you. And we call that bio-individuality. Meaning that all of our bodies are like a computer, and because our bodies are like a computer, what data I put inside my body may not be the same, may be the same data, but your body may not compute it the same, if you can understand that, okay? Is there anything else I can answer? Did that work, or was that correct, or is she
Tori says that makes sense.
Okay, so yeah, so don't, and it's saying that proves my point about don't listen to all of these people that come on TV talking about I can do this, I can do that, you know. Listen to your body. Listen to what your body wants. For instance, I stopped drinking. I don't drink alcohol at all, okay? Because I don't drink alcohol, I have the worst cravings for chocolate and sugar, and which is weird because I don't eat junk. I don't eat anything that comes out of a bag, any processed food. And if you're trying to eat healthy, that should be the main thing you should be doing, not eating anything that's processed. Nothing that comes in a bag or a box, or if you can't pronounce any of the ingredients, then over 5 ingredients, you're not familiar with them, then don't. I need to send you that, so I just want to show you guys how to do that. If you can't pronounce ingredients, don't and put it in your body. You know, basically what I'm saying is what you put in your body, you want good things that you put in your body to produce a good product of yourself. Does that make sense? Okay. So we're going to get into this dish a little bit more. I'm really going a little slow here. But bear with me, everybody, because like I said, this is my first time doing this.
Dion, as you prepare to get into the dish, could you talk to some of our new viewers that, you know, not really sure what we're cooking today?
Oh, okay. We're making shrimp succotash, as I said. It's a dish that has with the California flair. I say that because all the dishes are, California cuisine is really bright. It's really using what's around, what's in season. And incidentally, which is weird because this is a Creole dish. Back to what I was saying. Yes, this is shrimp succotash. It has 2 pounds of shrimp, garlic, zucchini, okra, carrots, celery, garlic, fresh garlic. And the emphasis is everything fresh and organic. Some things here, I'm going to tell you the truth, it's not organic. Like my celery is not organic. These tomatoes are not organic. Parsley is not organic. The tomatoes are organic because I got them from a farmer near my house. And the lemon is organic as well. My point in doing that was to tell people, if you want to eat organic, try to do the best and get the best products. Go to the best stores to get your produce. You have to compromise it. This is what I did. I compromised, okay, that's not going to kill me if I eat the celery or whatever. It's already pre-washed, so I'll pre-wash it again. Make sure it doesn't have it doesn't have any chemicals or any of that in there. So that's how you do that. Because that's most people's gripe when it comes to eating healthy, is that, oh my God, that costs too much. That costs way too much. Okay, so the shrimp succotash is just focused. The main focus is bright summer vegetables. This dish is good because it holds really well for the next day. As a matter of fact, it tastes even 10 times better the next day. There's no rules with the okra. This is how the okra looks. I want people to know you can substitute, the original succotash dish had lima beans in it. And if you're a kid, you probably just say, I'm not eating that. You didn't eat your green beans. This may be something that you may not want to eat, so I've made this dish with edamame. So you can make it with edamame as well. Okay. Now we're gonna go ahead and cut the vegetables because we're getting kind of behind here. Okay. Someone else wants to ask me a question.
Deirdre has a question. What about the clean 15 and dirty 10?
Yes, I was going to mention that. You guys lost me now. Well, strawberries is one of the things that are very dirty that you shouldn't get. You shouldn't eat that. What she's mentioning, my kind of got lost on the clean 15 and the dirty thing. Watermelons, you should get organic. Strawberries, you should get organic. And I'm gonna be honest with you right now, I've lost all of that. Lost all of the answer to that. But you can go to Trader Joe's and Whole Foods and they can give you a list of that and you can look it up online. I apologize right now because I'm really into this, but I kind of forgot all that. But yes, I promise to be up to speed next time on that. But yeah, I'm familiar with the clean 15 and dirty 15. Like my blueberries are organic at home. I don't get blueberries. I get blueberries organic. Anything that hits the ground and that is highly sprayed with pesticides, like apples, for say. Apples is one that you should always get organic. Do not compromise on that. Grapes is another one that are sprayed heavily with pesticides and things like that. Also, if you wanted to get into things pertaining to meat and fish, just like I was saying earlier, just check and see where it comes from. And try to eat as local as you can and try to eat seasonal. If you come from back east and you come here to California and your body is craving a hoagie or whatever they eat back east, then you're going to be affected by what's out here. My aunt, she lives in Kansas City. The first thing she said when she got here is that she didn't want any salad, she wanted meat. And I found out in traveling, I went to North Carolina, there was no place to find salad or anything like that. Everything was gravy, fried, everything was fried, it was gravy and things like that. So you are what you eat in the area that you live in, but you have to try to think out of the box. And it has a lot to do with your ancestors and what your mom ate before you were born and that type of thing. I found recently that when you're born to a family that's loving and they're kind, then your outcome of your life is going to be a lot different. And the way you eat and the way that your genetic makeup is going to be a lot different than everyone else's, than a person who, from an unplanned, they not that they weren't wanted, but they just had a pregnancy, their mom had a pregnancy and they're a single mother and that type of thing. So I'm finding that genetics have a lot to do with how your diet and how you are as a person affects you. So all of this, I'm finding that food has a lot to do with your bio-individuality in your life. So yeah, let me get back to this.
Walk us through this, Dion.
We're just cutting the yellow squash on the bias. It's just a fancy way, you're just cutting it at an angle. And I just do this so that when it goes in the dish, it has some type of flair in the dish for me. We're just gonna do a couple of these and we're gonna put them aside. We're gonna do all the squash right now.
So Tori has a quick question, Dion.
Yes.
Tori's curious, do you ever cook with wine?
Yes, I do. Even though I don't drink, I remember what it tastes like. I remember what it tastes like. This dish particularly would go good with a nice Chablis. Nothing heavy. A nice white wine would be good with this dish. Even champagne would be good. I like champagne. When I did drink, I like champagne. A nice sparkling champagne or Prosecco or something like that. That would work well. One of my favorite champagne, I love Wilson Creek's almond champagne. It's really a good dessert champagne as well because they make, you could put a chocolate port into it. And when you put the chocolate port into it, it makes it taste like almond joy candy, if you can believe that. You go down to their winery, and you could try that if you like. Okay, this is the zucchini. We're chopping this as well on the bias. Okay, we're gonna mix this time. Anybody else have any questions?
How thick should the cuts be?
Oh, okay. But I forgot here. That size right there should be perfect, meaning so that when it starts to cook, you know, you still have enough to where it'll stay crisp. So when you're making it, you don't have to do this, but just remember when you're cutting for your squash, enough so it won't break down in the dish. Okay.
And someone had another question about the dish.
Yes.
Steve asked,
Hi,
how long does this dish take to cook? Aside from preparation.
It is labor intensive. I'm going to say that. Reason why some things that I have already prepped because it is labor intensive. But once you get everything chopped, it's about a good 40 minutes to prepare with the chopping and all the other stuff. And I've made the rice ahead as well because it takes about 40 minutes to make the rice. So I've done that ahead of time. Normally, because I'm nervous, normally I would not have taken this long to do this, but I'm trying to work it out.
And then how many, so that this dinner that you're preparing, Dion, how many people will it feed?
This dish right here should feed about 6 people. There are 2 pounds of shrimp in it. I'm using Gulf shrimp, and they're pretty big. So yeah, and then trying to think something else. Yeah, so you have all these vegetables and everything in it. So you can almost get, you can almost 8. You know, people nowadays they don't eat large portions, but if you're doing large portions, you could get about 8 people with this dish.
We have a question from Are You Beans. Do you have any tips on not making your eyes water when you cut onions?
Okay. Well, you can put them in ice water. You can start putting them in ice water. Put lemon on it. You can try that. But when you're somebody like me that's been doing it a long time, that's like it doesn't bother me anymore. Like and then like it depends on the onions. Like the brown onions, they a little stronger onions. Like a Vidalia onion or something like that, it's a lot sweeter onion. The stronger the onion, the more your eyes are gonna water. So keep that in mind. And this particular onion is one of my favorites because it's not strong. It's kind of mild or whatever, and you get excellent color out of it. You know when you cook with it. Okay, so we got that done. We got that part done. Let's keep it moving. Okay, then we're just gonna go in the middle in here. We'll go ahead and cut this purple onion real quick. I'm not doing this with precision because we're due to our timetable. Just dicing a whole onion for this dish. So these are small onions. So I would say about maybe 1.5 onion will probably do for this dish.
Why would you use red onion and not white onion?
Because white onion is strong. It's very strong, and I like colors in my food. That's basically it. I like the color and the flavor of this. Is like as I said, it's not a strong onion, so I get a better flavor out of it. And then you can kind of hide it. You could kind of hide it for people. It doesn't stand out so much. You know how you get a white onion and you eat into it and you can tell, this has onions in it, you know. So it's not a strong onion. So that's really why this is one of my favorites. Now, if I was making like a French onion soup or something like that, then I'd probably go for a Vidalia onion or a brown onion or a stock or something like that. Then that's when that would come into play. Are there any more questions? Did that satisfy your question?
Sure.
This is a more expensive onion as well. But again, you know, if you're gonna eat healthy and live well, then I always say you should use the best ingredients. Okay, I'm gonna hurry this through here.
So what kind of rice do we have for the dish today, Dion?
Oh, okay. What kind of rice we have today? Today we're just using a basic rice today. No, just basic white rice today. No brown rice or anything like that. I'm doing some research on the brown rice right now. I'm hearing some negative things about brown rice, and I'm not going to say what that is right now until I get my facts in order pertaining to that. I just wanted to use something kind of basic today because of our audience. You know, there are a variety of people in the audience. So I wanted them to be able to obtain all the ingredients and understand just a basic recipe. That should be enough for that dish. So we have like about 2 onions for that, for this small. Okay, we got that. Now we're gonna go into, again, more color. Alright, now we're going to put the red pepper. I always cut a little bit more than what I need. So in case, you know, while I'm cooking or I'm seasoning it, when I'm making the dish. Again, because like I said, I emphasize on color. And we're just going to julienne this a little bit, do a rough julienne. And this rough julienne, you'll do another dice. Take that part out. Anybody else have any questions? Any more questions?
We do have a question. This one's from John. John asks, what kind of knife are you using?
Oh, this is one of my personal knives or whatever. This is a weird Sudoku knife by Cuisinart. This is something that I picked up. I was shopping. You know, as a chef, we're always trying different knives. I do have regular knives, but I just took a liking to this one. It's not anything special. It's not an expensive knife. You know, I mean, I have, you know, really other knives, expensive knives, but yeah. But this seems to do it. Okay. Now, let's see, we got that part done. Now we're moving on to this. Wash this a little bit more. Okay. Yeah, you want to always try to pull out all your seeds, and you don't want that part in your food.
Do the seeds give a different texture or flavor if you put it in the dish?
Yes. It will spoil your dish. It won't taste right. And you know, when you're choosing a bell pepper, it should taste like a watermelon. You know, not exactly like a watermelon, but it should have that texture in your mouth of crispness and freshness, in, like cucumber. When you choose bell peppers. Any more questions?
There is another.
Yes.
What's a good veggie to eat if you have congestive heart issues? Someone told me to start eating beets.
Beets is one of the top vegetables that you should consume because of the earthiness and and how it's grown. Any root vegetable or whatever should be good for you to consume. I would have to know more about the rest of your diet. What are you eating? And in order to tell you just to eat that one thing. A number of things, like I was saying earlier about inflammation, I take every day cacao powder. I have green tea. I also eat. You should be eating a lot of ginger. Also, you should be eating a lot of pineapples. Interesting enough, pineapples have a lot of properties in it to help you with your inflammation, especially congestive heart. It's something that the basis of that is inflammation as well. Is that all? I'd have to ask you more questions pertaining to to your congestive heart. Is that all that goes with it, or he said that's it?
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. You guys giving me a run today, huh?
You sure?
You giving me a run.
So let's have a little fun, Dion.
Okay.
Tell us 3 things about you.
Okay. Other than I'm beautiful? No.
That's a given.
Thank you, Irvin. Thank you, Irvin. Now, 3 things about me. I'm a very nice person. I love to cook. Let's see. I love my business right now. What else is another 3rd thing about me? I'm very concerned about the food industry right now and what they're doing to people. I'm very concerned about what our president has done to our environment. Everything that's going on right now pertaining to our environment, if he's going to let them not protect, if he's not going to protect our environment, then what is that going to do to our food, guys? I mean, really, what is that going to do to our food? The food that we're getting now is not staying in the ground long enough to give us the nutrients, which is why we have organic come about. But at the same time, now I'm finding that our organic vegetables are coming from other countries. So, you know, it's like really hard. And I know that it costs you like a car payment. I know my diet costs me like a car payment every month to eat healthy every month. And so, but you have to invest in yourself if you want to live longer. And with, you know, people like the president, and I'm not knocking the president because I don't want to be Kathy Griffin. When people don't care for the environment, that affects you in some type of, that's going to affect you in a very negative way. You're not able to get these people. We have pretty vegetables. I see these pretty rainbow Swiss chard. I see that there. But how good is it? It's organic, by the way. I mean, but how good is it if I don't exactly know where it came from? Or I exactly know what type of pesticides it came in? Or did the farmer get certified? Because you have to be, in order to get certified as an organic farmer, you have to not use pesticides and that type of thing for at least 5 years to get certified as an organic farmer. So if that's one of the things about me that you have to know, that I'm really serious about my food. I found too in the industry when I worked in the industry, but I found when I worked in the industry that a lot of places that you go to eat, and you'll probably attest to this by, how can you go to Chili's and have endless apps? And how can you go to Chili's and have endless apps and pay $10 for food and expect for it to be healthy for you? Most of the stuff in the industry nowadays, it comes out of a bag, a box, and they're microwaving it. And they're microwaving the food, or they're using some type of processed food. I really don't eat out. Very rarely do I eat out. I have to really be selective in the places that I go to eat out. So, is there anything else? Anything else anybody wants to say? Other three things about it.
So Dion, we're about 40 minutes in to the live stream.
Oh, okay.
And I'm curious as to how long will the okra take to soak in the water?
In the water, okay? You can do one of two things with the okra. Right now you see it in here, I've basically already, it's not soaking right now. I'm just making sure that all this slime doesn't get into the dish. And once I get, like, I gotta do the shrimp too. I need an assistant. Anybody want to sit down with an assistant? I need an assistant, okay. It doesn't have to soak, you just have to make sure. See how the water is coming out and it's kind of, you guys see that slime that's coming out? Ooh. You don't want, that's the part you don't want in there. So it's until you can get that residue out of it. Okay, we're gonna have to get going, guys. We're gonna have to knock this down. I said we're 40 minutes into this. Oh, that's what you're telling me, Mr. Allen. Hurry up. Well, that's one thing about me. I can't talk and chew gum, okay? We're just gonna go through this really quick. Because I've got most of it done, and the hard part is the shrimp. And I have about 4 or 5 cloves here, and this is fresh. You can use, I don't recommend using anything but fresh. I'm not going to tell you to go off of the perimeter and just use other stuff. And like I was saying, because I'm using all this fresh stuff, the garlic and all of that stuff will season the dish. We don't need a whole lot of salt and all that other stuff. This freezes well. If you make this, it freezes well. However, don't put it in a microwave to reheat it. When you reheat this, you guys might want to heat it in maybe a convection oven, or heat it in. We're just gonna, because it's fine, we're gonna leave that alone. Then I gotta cook some parsley really quick. Okay, guys, I'm just gonna tear this off. Like I said, this dish is very labor intensive. So if you could buy something that's already cut or prepped, that would work. And this is about 3 tablespoons once I get it chopped.
We have a quick question, Dion, as you still cut. What does blanching your okra mean?
Oh, I'm sorry. What you do is you put on a pot of water, salt it with sea salt, and you bring it to a boil, to a rolling boil. Once it gets boiling, then you drop the sliced okra in it and you let it cook. But as you can see, I didn't cook it all the way because it would be brown. You just cook it to like until it's kind of still crispy like this. See how it's still crispy. It's not, you know, it's still palatable. You know, it's not all mushy. I want to talk about how I come up with some of my ideas for cooking. Let's talk about that. I get inspired by other people's cooking, and not just one ethnic group. I like to cook a lot of Hispanic food. I love to cook Asian food. Kind of like that guy. I don't know if anybody ever seen that movie Burn. I'm kind of like that guy. I don't take things from people. I'm just inspired by what they do. That inspires me to create things. Sometimes I'll see like something pretty, like a sunset or something like that, and or I'll see something or a color or whatever, and that will inspire me to cook. My cooking is feeling. I've been studying something lately to see if it was true. My idea is you have to love what you do when you're cooking for people, or else when you're cooking for them, it's going to come out in your food if it's not right. If you just slapped it together and you didn't do like taking the time to go through all of this and make sure that things are cut and putting a lot of love into this dish. A lot goes in, as you can see, a lot goes into this dish. But I find it in my studies that people don't put any type of love in their food. I put a lot of love and care and my inspiration into these dishes. Lately, I've been really into Asian cuisine and eating healthy because of the pasta thing. In Italian cooking, I used to love to cook Italian food, but due to all the gluten and the flour, and none of that is in my diet anymore. As I was saying earlier, a lot of things aren't in my diet anymore, so I don't eat them. But I work on it, you know, and I'm not going to say that totally I've knocked out a lot of things out of my diet, like cheese. Oh my God, I stopped eating cheese. If you live in California, it's very hard not to eat cheese, especially with tacos and all kinds of Italian food. Everything has cheese. Greek food has feta cheese and that type of thing. So I'm just, you know, the more I learn, because I'm still learning, you know, I'm not going to stand here and claim. Usually as a chef, I learn something new every day. I'd like, you know, the girl that asked me questions about the Clean 13. I know what that is, but my mind blanked out. But as I was saying, I'm inspired. I'm inspired by all kinds of different things in environment. Excuse me, guys. I gotta turn this down. I cannot function. I need to see. Okay, now to start this dish, we're gonna start to heat. Oh, I can't yet. Main thing, the shrimp. I almost forgot that. Now, in saying that, you can, I've experimented. In saying that about the shrimp, You can make this dish without meat. And you can make this dish with chicken. I would suggest put a grilled chicken in it. I'm just washing this off. I'll still check on this too as well. I'm gonna wash those a little bit.
Hey, Dion, we have a question from Melissa.
Hi, Melissa. How are you doing today?
So Melissa, she eats, she's a vegetarian, and she was wondering, when you cook it without the meat, do you do anything different, or do you just take out the shrimp?
You just don't add the shrimp. You can tell her does she eat tofu? Is she a vegan or is she a vegetarian?
She says she's a vegetarian. So she does eat eggs and she does drink milk.
She does drink milk.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't eat fish or?
Correct.
She doesn't eat fish, okay. Okay, but yes, she does. You can try tofu. You can put tofu in it as well. You can put tofu in it, and again, you could add, tell her I said she can add the edamame to it, and she can add more vegetables to it. The key, there's really no mistake in this dish. Because like right here, I have the organic tomatoes that's gonna go into it. This is the only thing I use can't. These are organic. I have the other organic tomatoes. We're probably gonna use this today because I don't have time. We're 40 minutes in, so I gotta hurry up and finish this. So I don't have time to cut the fresh tomatoes, but you can add fresh tomatoes to it.
How are you preparing the shrimp today?
Okay, this is going in last. What I'm doing is I'm cutting the shrimp. I'm butterflying the shrimp. Deveining the shrimp, which I should have started earlier. Okay. This is about 2 pounds. This is 2 pounds of shrimp. Okay, so this is gonna, like I said, 8 people is gonna feed a lot. And for my vegan friend that asked me about the vegan thing, she can just add more vegetables to it. I'm trying to think what else she can add to it. She can add more okra to it. She can add the edamame I suggested. You could even add broccoli to it. It's no, like I said, it's no wrong or right in the dish. Who's saying something there? Oh.
It didn't make sense.
I apologize, guys, because I'm way, it's supposed to be an hour. Spent too much time on other stuff.
That's okay. I think you had a lot of questions. People are really interested to hear what you have to say. And I think they really appreciate your knowledge, Dion.
Oh, well, that's great, Alvin. That's great. And I'm really happy to have everybody on board. You know, let me know. Like I said, I'm here to ask questions. And like I said, I'm just trying to, this is my first time doing this, okay? So I'm not going to keep saying that, but yeah. The last time I made this dish, I prepped everything before you guys came on. Before I even, but we didn't go live that time. Okay. What am I going to do about the rest, Alvin?
You're right.
You're right.
You're right. Keep going.
Well, maybe we'll have to repost and edit.
For sure.
We're going to have to repost and edit. And I appreciate everybody that's hanging on for this dish. If you're hanging on to see the end result, please stay and hang on a little bit for this dish. Hey, it's not the Food Network, but we're getting it in. And then I'm just using a little paring knife here just for the sake of speed here. And guys, this is fresh. I mean, you're seeing exactly where it came from. You're seeing the origin and hey, this came out the ocean the other day. Hell, I had to call a guy to get these shrimp. You know, and when I cook for people or whatever, I always get the best. If you ask me, oh, Dion, that's expensive. Well, this is not McDonald's. And you won't get sick after you eat this. So.
Dion, Tori has another question.
Yes, Tori, I'm with you.
So do you plan to open up a restaurant soon?
No restaurants. Too much overhead. I like doing private chef. I like being a private chef. I'm a part of I don't know if you saw my patch, part of the Private Chef Association. And I like doing private parties for people. Like I like to cook dinners in people's homes so that they can enjoy the intimacy of, you know, they can drink with their friends and not have to worry about driving home. So to speak, I'm the Uber of the dinner party. You don't have to take an Uber. You just eat and pass out and go to sleep in your house. So that's how I like to do it. I don't want to really open a restaurant. That's why this my business. Let me go back and explain what Chef 911 is and how I get paid. Chef 911 was developed. You know, you hear me talking all about the healthy thing or whatever. I studied at the Integrative Nutrition, as I told you, and became a health coach. I wanted to combine my chef talents and being a health coach together. So when I come cook for you, I'm not just cooking just to give you a meal. I'm cooking to give you wellness and health. And so you're not gonna get sick. And I'm promoting wellness in your diet. And when I come to your house, part of my service is I come and throw all the way the bad stuff, tater chips, anything that you may be eating that is not good for you and your body. So the other part about my program is I have a walk program. If you're near Redlands or you know where that is, I have a walk program where I walk with people. So I'm not just about talking about wellness, I'm about it too. I try to promote a whole entire balance, not just the food, not just the cooking. I try to promote the cooking, what you should eat. You should be exercising. You should be exercising. You should be doing some type of meditation, or you should have spirituality. What I'm selling is an entire balance in your life. Your food is a part of your balance. Do we have another question? Okay.
No, just compliments.
Okay.
Compliments, yep.
All right. Well, the food is a part of balancing out your life. That is one of the things. In my practice, I've learned that's called your primary foods. Your primary foods isn't what you eat. Your primary food is your career, your exercise, your spirituality, and your health and your wellness. Those are your primary foods. If one of those things are out of alignment, there's something in your primary foods or in your life that is not correct. That is what I'm promoting in my service. I want to teach you how to attain total balance in your life through health, diet, and fitness. You cannot just lose weight and think that, okay, I'm just going to lose weight. 9 times out of 10, people, when they start to lose weight, and I'm one to attest to that, I used to weigh 300 pounds. Okay? In that 300 pounds, I found out that I was an emotional eater. I'd get mad and eat a whole pint of Haagen-Dazs. And I know a lot of people that can attest to that. You know, but when we're eating the Haagen-Dazs, we think, oh God, we feel so good. We ate the Haagen-Dazs. But guess what? What triggered us to eat the Haagen-Dazs? We got mad, the stress. the stress of our lives. And so that's a part of my program. I have a 6-month program. And in that 6-month program, I take you on field trips to the grocery store, and I show you how to read those labels. I show you what's healthy. I show you how to find out where your fish is coming from, where your meat is coming from. I also tell you as well where to shop and where to order your food from for you in order for you to maintain this healthy lifestyle that you're trying to achieve. I also give suggestions on equipment that you need to purchase in order to do this in a fast manner without doing it in the microwave. The microwave is the worst thing you could do to your food. You're changing the molecular structure of your food. How many of you have put your food in the microwave, and when it comes out, it's like glowing, or it looks, it's not palatable when you eat it, but you eat it anyway because it's something fast to eat. But I have other methods in my program to teach you how to, other things that you can put in your home that'll help you do that. Now, one, like I said earlier, no one thing is going to help you to, like they have people that do juicing and all that type of thing. But you can, you have to put things in your home and in your shopping cart to help you to aid you in your wellness and weight loss. I'm going to leave it there because we're way behind. Let me wash my hands again here. Okay, guys, I've got everything done with the dish that's going in it. You may have to, after you guys leave from Internet Land, I may have to finish it off there. I might have to finish it later. Anybody have any more questions?
No questions.
No questions. Okay, we about to set the kitchen on fire. Okay, that's not working. That would be it. Okay, now, finally got that done. Okay. I'm going to say hello to a few people. I want to say hello to Junior, Vince, Jennifer at Stater Brothers. I'm just going to drain this really quick for. We're going to say hello to Jennifer, Junior. We're going to say hello to Margie. Hey, Mary Starks, what's going on? You better be watching. We're going to say hi to Will, Sharon, Pamela. Thank you guys for supporting me. Okay, does anybody have any questions about my service and what can you get? And it doesn't have to be 6 months. It could be a 3-month program. Or if you get a group of people together, I usually like to do group rates. Because if you have someone supporting you, I'm trying to get this hot. If you have someone supporting you, well, I'm the one that's supporting you, but if you have a group of people, it's even better. Even better. There we go.
So again, we just had a couple new viewers. Dion,
Yeah.
just mention again, what are you cooking? Where does it come from? Yeah.
This is a Creole dish. We're making shrimp succotash. Most of the dish is vegetables, fresh herbs, spices, garlic, carrots, and celery. This dish is more like it's a spring summer dish, but more a spring dish than summer dish because it's really hot today. And it's really hot to cook something like this today. We're gonna start today, now I'm gonna start with, where's the peppers? We're gonna start first with the green pepper. We're gonna start with little pepper. We're gonna start with some onions. Hey Alvin, you guys see what I do with the garlic? Can I cut up? Oh, it's on the board. Okay, we're starting with a trilogy, what's called a trilogy. Except for mine is a four-way, it's a four-way trilogy. We're gonna put the celery, the garlic, the parsley, onions, and the bell peppers. We're gonna start with that. We're gonna saute them, not till they're done, but just until they're getting this hot. Get that done hot. We're gonna saute them, not till they're done, but just a little bit. Also, the tomatoes will go in it as well. And like I said, it was very labor intensive, but in the end, when it's all done, you will appreciate what you have got, the product that you've got. My new people, do you have any questions? Since you guys just came in, you have any questions? I know. See, where are some of the people coming from?
I think we got some people from Las Vegas.
Ooh, Las Vegas.
Someone's from Seattle.
We got someone from Long Beach.
Oh yeah, the LBC. Tell Snoop what's up. Tell Snoop what's up. Okay, I think this is hot enough. Now we're gonna start this. And throw our onions in there. We're not gonna throw all of this in there. We're just gonna throw a little bit of that in. Then I'm just gonna, okay.
So that was parsley.
Yeah, this is parsley. We have parsley, garlic, and red peppers and bell peppers in this dish right now. You want to start with what's called your root vegetables. These are what's called your root vegetables. The ones that are really hard. We'll throw a little carrots in there too because they take a little bit. And you guys see what I'm talking about as far as color? These are ones that'll take a little bit to cook. And all we're doing right now is we're flavoring the pan. At least that's what I call the flavoring the pan. Okay. Yeah, this is a little Mediterranean sea salt. We're gonna put a little of that in there. Okay. This is some dried Thai basil. We'll put it in there. A little bit of that in there. This is a secret. I can't tell you what that is.
Can you give us a little hint?
It's kind of like a Mediterranean. It's kind of Mediterranean, like an Italian type seasoning type. But for you guys can put. You guys can put like an Italian seasoning in it. It won't kill it. Now, because we're running low of time, we're running short of time, I'm just pulling, this is rosemary, fresh rosemary. I'm going to just start with a little of that. Then I have a little fresh thyme on here. I'm going to put it in there. Alvin and Irving, how does it smell in here?
It smells real good.
Amazing.
Okay, I'm gonna feed my friends in a minute when this is done. We need some smell-o-vision. And as I said, not a whole lot of salt. I'm gonna work a little bit more on this because I don't know. We almost got everything out. I want to make sure I get it all out. For the new people that join me, this is okra. what I'm doing is I'm washing the slime off of it because it'll ruin the dish if I don't get it out. It's really hard to get that out. I tried to do it ahead, but it's going to be okay. Now, I started with just a little bit of vegetables. And the reason I started with just a little bit is because, you know, like I was telling you, I don't want it to, I still want to maintain the color, the vibrant color in this dish. Because later on, when we get going, I'm going to probably add some more of what I got here in there. More of the vegetables in there. I'm going to turn this down a little bit.
So what's the heat at right now, Dion?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. First when you started off at a high heat. And then I got it right now about on a medium heat right now. Okay, then you're gonna drop it down. Okay, you see how everything is sweaty? It's all sweaty in here and it's all starting to get kind of wilty. Okay, now it's almost time to the point where we're gonna add everything to it. We're gonna add the tomatoes, we're gonna add everything to it all at once.
Ooh-wee.
Okay. What are my viewers saying in here? Okay, this is tomatoes because we want to get a little seasoning of that in there.
We got Dodgers Rule and You Drool 88 saying, food my way, please.
Okay, then. And if anybody would like to contact me for my services or would like to just hit me up on my Facebook, on Chef 911, leave me a message. I usually respond within an hour. If you like help, especially if you've had the lap band surgery, I really like to talk to people who've had that surgery. And I like to tell people, don't go, if you're at your ropes end with your weight and you were like I was and you weighed 300 pounds, okay, I'm going to return this back up a little bit. If you're at your wits end with your weight and all that other type of thing, now we're going to add this to it. We're going to add all of the vegetables to this to it. Like I said, I try to keep we're going to keep the crispiness in the vegetables. And again, I want to emphasize, you guys see the color in this. And as you can see, you know, I haven't added the shrimp. I have plenty of time to finish up with the shrimp while this is going. Okay, I'm gonna let that ride for a minute. Let's make sure I got it. And right now, I'm just gonna add that one bay leaf to it. I forgot that. And then what else? Here's a little black pepper to it. Here's a little. This is granulated garlic. As I can tell, I like garlic. Okay, and then, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and add the corn to it as well. Okay, does everybody agree with me that it's not that hard once you get everything cut up?
Oh, yeah.
This makes me want to go outside with a nice Chablis, like I was saying, or a nice champagne, and just sit on the back porch with a nice bowl. As soon as we finish, me and Irvin and Alvin, we're gonna go eat this.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part. We're gonna put just so we can have enough juice in here so I can simmer a little bit. This is free-range chicken broth. Now you can make your own. I like to make my own. But again, you know, if you're not the cook that I am, you know, hey, have at it. Get some that's already done for you and get it over with.
And what would someone use if they don't eat meat? What broth would they use? Vegetable broth?
Yes, you can try the vegetable broth. However, yeah, they wouldn't really need to use a broth if they try to use what was I gonna say? More diced tomatoes and juice. More diced tomatoes or just tomatoes, period. because the juice from the tomatoes would give you a broth when they cooked it. If they cooked it down some more.
We got someone tuning in from Houston, Texas, saying hello.
What's up, Texas? I've been there. I've been there too. It's hot. Is it hot like it is here? It's hot. I call that hot and sweaty. That's where how it is in Texas. It's very hot and sweaty there. I didn't like it too much, but I sure like the food there. The food sure is good.
Andrea Gomel, she said yes. Laugh out loud, yes.
Yes. Send me some fried shrimp. Okay, I like San Antonio. I like Whataburger in San Antonio, Texas. There's a chicken place. What is it called? I forget. It's a chicken tender place. Is it Raising Cajun or?
Oh, Raising Cane's.
Raising Cane. Okay, but I don't think that's it. It's in the mall there. I don't remember. It's been a while since I've been there, but I really like Houston. I like Portland. My girl from Seattle. I still can't think of the name of that pizza place, but you have some really good places to eat there. I would go to that pizza place all the time. Okay, so I want a little bit more color in this. I'm gonna drop a little bit of this in there. Make sure it has a little more.
And what are we adding more of?
Oh, we're adding a little more red pepper and yellow pepper to it. And the tomatoes, it's up to you. You could use fresh, or if you want to just be like me and just be anal about it, you could just use the fresh tomatoes or whatever. I would have liked to have done that today, but we didn't have time. Okay, so got everything to it. We're gonna add a little butter to it. We're gonna be bad and add a little butter to it. I want everybody to know, don't eat the margarine. If you're gonna kill yourself, eat butter. It's a lot better for you than the margarine. Okay, and I will add a little margarine to this. I mean, not margarine. They got me saying margarine. A little butter to this to give it a little more richness or whatever to the dish.
We have a question. Is the butter unsalted or salted?
The butter is unsalted. The butter is unsalted. Got everything going. Okay, I'm gonna finish up the shrimp, and while that's simmering, because I got time, we're almost done with the dish, guys, believe it or not. And again, thank everybody for hanging out and waiting and being so patient for the dish. The recipe for the dish is on the Culinarian app. If you would like to see more of my adventures, just look on my page, Chef 911. On the 27th, I will be doing a promo for Stage and Table. Just follow me on Facebook. I always make announcements as to what I'm doing. And if you have any questions or anything you'd like me to answer about your health, or like the guy is telling me about his congestive heart, the guy who had the congestive heart, and you could hit me up, leave me a message, and I'll do some more research and we can talk about that more. On this platform, I'm just not, I don't know, all this cooking, and I can't chew gum and all that at the same time right now. But okay. All right. And the reason I butterfly the shrimp is for presentation. Like when we plate this dish, I'll make the shrimp stand up. You'll see what I'm talking about. The last time I was in Houston, I met those guys. What's the guys that he wore the bag on his head? Oh God! And he's Quincy Jones' son. The name of is his son. And they had a group that LMFO.
LMFAO?
Yes,
that
yes.
pop band?
I messed them. They wouldn't take any pictures with anybody, but he said I was cute, so he said, "Oh, she's cute. We'll take a picture with her." So he took a picture with her.
Get it?
So the Adventures of the Supermodel Diva. I have met a lot of celebrities, but I've never been starstruck. And the reason why is because God, how many people come up to them all the time and just ask for their autograph. I never ask for their autograph. I just say hello. I met Spike Lee. I was a sushi chef at one point as well. Learned how to make sushi. Who else did I meet? Oh, I met Keyshawn Johnson. I met Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson is a friend of someone else I know. Who else? Let's see. I cooked for Richard Dreyfuss. He came when I was working for Amtrak. He came on the train. A lot of people. Sometimes I'd cook somewhere like for an agency or something like that, and they wouldn't tell you who you're cooking for until after it's all said and done. One time I found out I was cooking for Steven Spielberg, and it was a special thing for Steven Spielberg, and Tom Hanks was there. What? And it was at USC. It was a long time ago. And just to let you know, I've been featured in the Living Magazine, Train Magazine, in the Living Magazine 2007. I know that was ancient years ago, but yes. So, okay. Let's see what's going on over here. We're just about ready. And as you're saying, I wanted to maintain the integrity of my vegetables by not letting them cook. And it's still, you see, they're still kind of, although you guys can see that they're still really tight. They're not mushy or whatever. So now, let's see. Oh, now we're going to add the okra. Okay, I think we got all the mushiness out of the okra. Okay. I always give one last thing, because you don't want this in your food. It's not a bad thing, but it really compromises the dish. Now, this is where it really, even though people are not familiar with this okra, now we added more color to the dish. Okay, we're gonna let that cook for a little bit more, because we just added the okra, so that could cook. And as you guys can tell, that is gonna feed 8 people or better, right? Mm-hmm. So I think Alvin was taking this home with us. At least some of it. Oh, and Alvin was telling me about, you were telling me about kumquats.
Kumquats?
Yes.
I was supposed to bring you some.
Yes. What happened to them?
I did forget. They're actually still on my tree. I'll pick some out.
Okay. Well, I want you to know that I've added them to my smoothies.
How do you like them?
At one of the Asian, I can't stop eating them. Oh, I can't stop eating them.
Eat the skin, right? The skin's sweet.
The whole thing, and I put it all in my smoothies or whatever. That's the other thing I want to tell you guys. When you're eating healthy, I know the challenge is snacks. Well, what do we eat when we're snacking? And how do we try to, what do we eat when, to snack? Well, the Supermodel Diva I carry almonds with me, because when your blood sugar spikes and you get that craving and you'll start eating everything, and usually about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, about the time we're doing here, we're getting hungry. When that time comes and you're not at home and you're not available to eat, you should carry almonds with you. They're very satisfying, or some type of nuts. Make sure you incorporate a lot of different type of nuts and seeds to your diet. Okay, where are we at, Alvin? I see you checking your time. Where are we at?
Hour and 24.
Oh, okay. And you guys are out with me? How many are with me?
I'd say we have a nice crowd.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Good. Hey, I really thank you guys for hanging in there with me. I really do, because this is the last of it. Now we're going to drop the shrimp in. I didn't season them because of the lack of time, but we could take care of that in that. Like I said, I don't want to add too much salt to the dish. The salt breaks down, again, it breaks down the vegetables as well. And back to the question that Alvin was asking me, to tell me a couple of things about myself. I don't play when it comes to food. That's one of the things about me. I'm really a perfectionist. I try to be a perfectionist in my dish. This is the first time, I'm going to say that I've done this in front of a crowd. I really enjoy this dish too. You can add a little bit of white wine to it, about a quarter cup of white wine. Usually something not too sweet, not too dry. Because if you put something dry in here, it's gonna remember your shrimp. Remember your shrimp. It's gonna like suck. The shrimp are gonna suck up the alcohol, and it's gonna make your shrimp tough. Okay. Now we're gonna put a little bit more chicken broth in here because we added that to there. Just a little bit more. You can add a seafood stock to it or whatever if you want to. And like I said, you can add, even if you wanted to, you could try to add a few clams to it too if you wanted to. Because this dish is just something that I made off the cuff. I was craving my grandmother's succotash. And succotash is really old school. I mean, it's really old school. It came from the South when people just didn't really have too much to make, and they just combined a bunch of stuff and just threw it together. They just threw it together, and they put, they ate with what they had to come up with something that was. They didn't think about healthy. They just came up with something that was available to eat. So like I said, we're almost done. So my suggestion, if you decide to make this dish, this should be a Sunday dish or a weekend dish that you have time to make. And the reason why, you guys see how long it took me to make it. Talking and making it is a different thing. It's 9 out of 10 when I make this dish, I'm usually by myself. I want to say hello to William. Thank you for letting me invade your house. And you see the shrimp, it's just starting to open up. Everything is just starting to come to fruition. And this is what I mean about the presentation of the shrimp. See how it turned and they curled or whatever? You don't want to make them into like this. As a suggestion, if you're going to cook shrimp, they should be a C and not an O. Okay? You're going to go a little bit into an O because of the way I cut them. But if they go into an entire O, you overcook the shrimp. Okay? Just know that. You go to a restaurant, go yell at the guy, you overcooked my shrimp. I'm going to get a little cleanup going while that's simmering. Anybody else have any more questions while I'm cleaning?
How come there's only one bay leaf?
Right now we're seasoning it. Right now we're seasoning it. I haven't tasted it. A bay leaf, you don't want to what do they say? Less is more. You don't want to over season it. I like to season as I go. I put a little salt in it. I put a little salt in it already. And I'm going to put a little Creole seasoning in there because this is a Creole dish. This is Tony Chaucer's. Okay, no more of that. Okay, that's Tony Chaucer's. You can use emerald seasoning or whatever to go into it. But the basis, you should always, I always like to have some type of, if you're going to cook anything, even if you don't know how to cook, if you put what's called a mirepoix, or a trilogy or whatever. Trilogy. Also, they'll call it a trilogy. And that's just onions, celery, and carrots. Okay, root vegetables. If you use that, you can be a superstar in the kitchen. Okay, we're gonna throw in the rest of our parsley. And again, like when I'm doing this because I want to still maintain the color.
Would you consider this a lunch entree or a dinner entree?
You can have this for lunch. It's not heavy. It's not a heavy dish. The rice, of course, if you put all this on your plate, yeah. But you could use this as a lunch entree. This would be a good brunch entree as well. Something you could use for brunch. And I'm gonna lower this a little bit. Yeah, because I thought that was a little bit much.
How long have you been cooking this dish?
Since about the time I was about 15. I've tweaked it into this recipe in the last 3 years. As I said, I combined what's called Creole shrimp and succotash and shrimp and okra. I combined those 3 recipes together and I came up with this. Okay? So yes, I started cooking when I was like 11 years old. You know, we all have those parents that have to work. And because we had those parents, my mom worked like 3 jobs. So she would call me on the phone and tell me, you know, hey, I need you to put on a pot of beans. And I could say by the time I was 13, I was cooking whole entire meals. And I come from a family where everybody cooked. We all stayed in the kitchen. We always met in the kitchen. No matter what, we always sat in the kitchen and talked to each other. And we all sat in the kitchen, and that was the place to go. So you couldn't help but learn anything, right? So I learned a lot. I have a really interesting story. I want to tell all the kids out there, if you're watching, all the young people out there, never lose your dream. Never lose your dream. I got kicked out of every school in Southern California. So, and now I'm running a business, running businesses, and I've been a chef for quite some time. And I'm a chef because a man that looked like Santa Claus enrolled me in school. And I was a terrible, terrible person. I mean, I didn't hurt anybody like people are doing now, the craziness people are doing nowadays. But I just want to tell people to follow their dreams. No matter what you do, don't let anybody tell you you can't do anything. Don't let anybody tell you you can't. In this day and time, we're in an age where this is a good time to start something, start your own company. You can't find a job, try to start your own company. There are resources out there for you to start your own company. Speaking of that, I want to give a shout out to the Inland Empire Business Center. They helped me to form my business. I want to give a shout out to them. Also, the Culinarian. I want to give a shout out to Alvin and what's this guy's name? What's this cute guy's name right here?
Irving.
Irving, he's my favorite. I keep telling him he won't run away with me, but okay, we're working on it. We're working on that. So, yeah, guys. I just want to tell everybody to pursue your dream no matter what. So we're just about done with the dish here. Try to make sure that I put everything into it. It's going to be about another. I've got it simmering kind of low. It'd be about another 5 or 10 minutes. I'm going to say 5 to 7 minutes before it's actually really done. But, and you guys let me, hey, you guys didn't yell at me. You didn't put the butter in there, chef. What happened? It's no big or whatever. We'll put a little bit in there anyway. And in cooking, I always know that cooking is an adventure. There are no rules. You can try whatever you want. And if it doesn't work, just try it again. All right.
How much butter are you gonna put in there, Dion?
The whole thing. No, I'm kidding.
Oh,
No, it's just gonna be a pat. It's just a pat of butter. That's it. This is to make the dish a little more richer. How can I explain it? It's gonna combine it. Just make it, give it a little more richness to the dish. Really into that.
Starting fires.
Yeah, I already started a fire in here. Okay. After this butter melts, I think we're about done. 'Cause I see all the vegetables, they've all got to where they need to be. I'm gonna get me a plate over here.
how important is plating?
If you're in a restaurant and you're working for somebody, for me, I like to, when I present something to somebody, I like for it to look good. You know, because people eat with their eyes. You want to make sure that, you know, they want to know you're going to enjoy it. Ask the person who asked me that, I said, do you like what you see already? If you like what you see already, you know, so plating probably is going to go along with it.
How do you know which plate to use?
That comes from, for me, it comes from a creative part of me. For this dish, I like to use a pasta dish. This is called a pasta dish. I like to use this dish because you have your broth in there. You want to catch that all in there, and I'm gonna do a little trick here with, as soon as I find it. Oh, I know that. I'm going to show you a little trick in a second. Excuse me for a second. Now, you can use simple things around the house to give you a little grandeur. And I'm just going to use this right here. And I'm going to put a little more butter in it. This is going to be for the rice. This is weird that I'm doing that because I've never really done this to people. Okay, all I'm doing is this, so when I put the rice in there, I'm going to put the rice in there.
Do you recommend doing the rice before the succotash?
Yes, because by the time you get to this point, you want to eat. And so, yeah, you want to eat. My guys are here. I gotta get a taste of this. Now I'm tasting this to see if it's seasoned right, or you know, what else does it need or whatever. This is why I left some of the things here for me. I like to always have things on the side to add other things or whatever. And not only that, I'm going to use the bay leaf as a garnish. We're going to use some of the rosemary as garnish, and we're going to use the chives as garnish. Turn this up a little bit, and we should be ready. We're ready to go.
So what'd you taste?
Good. It tastes really good. I taste the sweet of the corn, the pop of the corn. This dish has a lot of texture, which is what I like. I don't like soggy food, you know, where the food is just like you bite into something that's really soggy. So we have the rice already done here. So what we're going to do with the rice is we're going to take this rice.
Can you serve this rice with other types of rice?
Yes, Originally, I made this dish with jasmine rice. So now we're just gonna do this. Okay?
Okay.
And that's a little trick you can do. You have a girlfriend, boyfriend, you can impress them, they don't know. Just hide this after you do that. Then we're gonna do that. Then we're just gonna take this, and then we're just gonna ladle this around. We're gonna try to get a lot of the color and the shrimp. Thank you, Roger. I'm gonna let that go. I'm gonna turn that off. We're about to done. You try to, when you're plating, the person that asked me about the plate, you try to get as many of the items that are in your food so that people can see it. Okay? All right.
Do you like giving larger portions?
Well, it's been my practice. Usually if I give the person the plate, they usually eat all of it. Anyway. And like I said, this dish isn't that, we're not done. We're not done. So what we're going to do to continue to make it fabulous. Some of you guys already seen me make this dish. I mean, you've seen this dish on my Facebook page. If you're wondering, this is how it came to fruition. And I'm just showing you simple things that to make things turn into elegant. You can make something elegant. Then we're just gonna put a little of our chives on top. Yeah, hey, how about that today? Yeah, there we go. Bam. And you have everything that was in the dish on top as your garnish or whatever. You could just, I'm very creative, you know, I'm like, well, hey, a little bit more of that. But a little bit more. I love red, as you can tell. Chef 911. When your diet and your health is an emergency, you call Chef 911. Okay? And this is our dish. Shrimp succotash. Thank you, everybody who took the time to come in and sit for an hour or so for this dish. This is real cooking. This is real fresh cooking. This is not from a jar or a can. We just did one, but everything we did was organic. We did a couple of things that weren't. But I just wanted to show people that you don't have to, it doesn't have to be really fancy, but simple things, they come out to be spectacular. Again, I want to thank Culinarian for the time to come in to film this. And I want to thank everybody who tuned in today. This is Spring Succotash.
Yeah. We're good.
If it's a safe, you can finish.